Hey, what's up, YouTube? Just got done going to a Trayvon Martin / protest and rally. Um, I found out about it by looking out my window. I live downtown Akron, Ohio, in a college dorm, and I was on my computer, so just thought go outside, see what's happening, and if you want to see my opinion on the verdict, I'll put the link somewhere so you can check that out. But here you go. Here's the march, protest, rally. People getting together and stating their opinions. So enjoy.
When do you want justice? When do you want it? Now. When do you want justice? When do you want it? Now. When do you want justice? When do you want it? Now. Are we tired already? No. You like y'all ready for a nap? No. Young folks ain't moved that far in a long, long time. Nevertheless, you're blessed to be alive. We're blessed to have breath in our lungs. We're blessed to be alive, we're blessed to have breath in our lungs, family, and we are blessed to be here today to say to the world, to the Justice Center right here in Akron, Ohio, that we demand that they begin to change these laws. Yes, yes. Now, I'm not a big proponent, I don't have a lot of faith that that will happen before we begin to change how we treat ourselves. Yes. When Trayvon Martin was killed, that's a tragedy. Yes. I got a 17-year-old, he just turned 18. I got a 15-year-old who's going on 16, and I got another son that's 7 years old. And I got a son that's 22 years old. I'm blessed to have all of them alive. Yeah. But I've been to funerals right here in Akron where are dying in the street. Here's my issue, brothers and sisters. When Trayvon Martin was killed, we responded in droves. When Willie Brewer was killed, the response was weak. We did an article in the Reporter comparing the two, both 17 years old, both at the very front of their lives, ready to get everything that they can get from this life, and then their lives are cut short. When we do it to us, it's like it's expected.
And accepted.
That's just the way it is.
That's right.
In the hood. Yeah.
Not at all.
And I disagree. We say that to say that that's the way it will always be. We say that to say that we don't have any power to change that.
That ain't right.
That's where I take an issue with our young men. We make the decision at some point to not want to be here anymore. Many of our young men are suffering right now from depression.
Yes. That's right.
And when a man is depressed, sometimes they lose energy, become lethargic, and go to sleep. Other times they become aggressive. When men suffer from depression, they become aggressive most of the time. And that's one of the things that we're stressed with and facing with our young men. And it's because of the job issue. It's because they're growing up in broken homes. It's because they've been ripped off by the very people who are complaining about the way things are in the hood. We're trying to organize a conversation so we can sit down and listen to our young men. We're talking about them, but we're not listening to them. I don't think. I'm not talking about us because this is a conscious crowd here.
Yeah.
This is the conscious crowd. But those who were too busy to come out tonight, those who don't believe that nothing can change, you know the old saying, you can't change City Hall. That's a slave talking. A slave thinks like that. God is trying to give City Hall to you.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why we're suffering the way that we're suffering. So my argument is this as I close out. People who honor and respect each other, themselves, those communities don't have to do what we're doing tonight. When a community honors and respects itself, meaning it's the components of community are there. Neighbors are in harmony with each other. When you see some trash on the ground, you pick it up. Little things like that. You know each other's names. You see young youth walking through the neighborhood, you address them. You engage them. You don't look at them and become afraid of them. These are our sons. Now keep stressing that. These are our sons.
And daughters.
And daughters. So we have issues with our hip-hop artists. They got quiet after that.
Yes, we
I know Lil Wayne is your main man. Chains and all the rest of them. But listen, brothers and sisters, hip-hop is promoting this and making it seem like it's okay.
No, that's rap.
For us to kill each
That
other.
ain't hip-hop. That's rap.
Thank you for the correction. Rap, not hip-hop. Hip-hop is a culture. And rap is something that has become a hybrid art form. So family, please, give yourself a round of applause for being out tonight. You could have been anywhere. And nationally, this Saturday, as you'll be getting updates, as all of you have, we have your contact information. There'll be rallies happening in more than 100 cities. And one of the things that Reverend Al Sharpton stated today was that this is not just black people responding because we're angry and upset. We are that and have a right to be that. But we also know that we got to do something for ourselves now. People who live in this building and in that building, Sherry Government Walsh and Company, they're not looking at giving you justice. Summit County is notorious for over-prosecution. Summit County is notorious for over-prosecuting. And it's your sons that have their weapons pointed on. When we become a community again, you'll notice a reduction in state troopers and others having to come through. And while I'm on that point, there have been a reduction in murders this year. Our young men are thinking about living. So we have to highlight that because when they kill each other, we're right there to shake our head and say what a shame it is. Now, I don't know what to do with these young men. Again, these are your sons. Talk to them. They will tell you. They will tell you, listen, we're mad and we're upset and we have no hope. I'm not getting a job at McDonald's. When I can go on the street and risk my life to make 3 and 4 times that. So we have to ask ourselves the question, where have we failed our young people? When Trayvon is walking through his own neighborhood and he's pursued by anybody.
It's the community. We failed them. The community failed them.
That's exactly right. And now his mother and father have to live with the fact that the murderer has been turned free and is free to run the streets.
And he's suing the family. Zimmerman is suing that baby's family for, yes, because they didn't control their son. And that ain't right.
That ain't right.
Every knock is a boost. When you see big events like this happening, look for God's divine hand. Now let him do what he's going to do. And then you watch what the righteous will do in response to that. But every time we have a situation like this, family, we have an opportunity to unite and come together in the way that we're supposed to have done from the very beginning. So let's not let Trayvon's murder go in vain. I'm going to give way to Reverend Pounds, and thank you again for coming out, and may God continue to bless you. Peace.
Thank you.
More justice! More peace! More justice! More peace! More justice! More peace! More on the street and you see some trash. Pick it up. You're not gonna let nobody throw the stuff in your house, but you're letting them throw it in our house. That's gotta stop. We gotta start holding ourselves accountable for what it is we are not doing in the community.
That's right.
It's time for us to take a stand. Because they didn't do it alone. It took the entire community to stand up. And how can we hold them accountable if we're not holding ourselves accountable? Yes, these politicians are not doing their job, but we're not making them.
You're not making them do it, right?
35 people in 2010 went and voted. 35 on the south side of Akron.
35 people.
And you see how it looks.
88 in my ward.
In Highland Square, there was 2,500 plus. And you see what that community looks like. They're speaking and being heard. We're complaining and getting nothing.
You gotta do something. Don't censor yourself.
Don't censor yourself.
Respect the pastors, though, but tell them like it is.
But the time is now for us to take a stand. If you are not telling at least everybody that you come in contact with, you are not doing your job. Our babies are dying, and they don't care.
They don't care. Amen.
If you come out to the office, you will see all these females and some males. Just like I said, it's the new Jim Crow. They're tearing down the family. And if you see most of the households, they're women. They're with their children. Their husbands or their boyfriends or their folks independent. When he comes out, he has to deal with the woman and the children. He's got feedback coming back. So the first thing they do, they start arguing in their domestic because he's on probation. Come out to the job center and look at all the people that are receiving public assistance, female and male, that they're keeping in bondage. Every morning they have to hit that bus. Every morning they have to hit that bus. They take their little babies. You see them with their little babies, and we go in there, we try to talk to the young ladies and the young men. They take their babies, we have a daycare, they're not permitted to use that daycare. They have to find somewhere else to take their children. When they go in there, they're putting cops, but you probably see it on 19 News, 8 News. They put up sheets so you could not see them. All the young ladies in there, release late, they sanction that check. If they miss a day, they got to have a doctor's slip why they're missing. So they're still keeping us in slavery of bondage. Because once they lock our men up, it's just women out there with kids. And a woman cannot raise a male child. I have a male child, which in turn, he's out there on the street, and I know he knows right from wrong. But I still encourage him regardless of what he does. All of you women that go to church or have a professional job, you should be encouraging these young ladies to see them having babies after babies after babies, different guys after different guys. It's time to stop and look at yourself. So if we encourage them to get off the road, that helps our male counterparts to do better at what they're doing. We can't always be yapping at them, which we do. Sisters have a tendency to yap at us. And a lot of classes we teach them, the first thing the brothers come out of the prison and say, my woman's mouth. I get tired of her mouth. You don't have a job, you have the income. So don't down him, lift him up. If you can't lift him up, put him out. All right? That way you don't have that problem. You don't have a domestic, because they will not take a domestic off your record. So take time and teach the young women and teach the young men. But if you have an opportunity, please come out there and look at the plantation that we have set up for our people. Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah, all
Let's
right.
take Miss Evelyn. Now listen, she knows what she's talking about. She works right there in Job and Family Services, and she sees it every day. The impact, and basically she's saying that when one male is locked up, you actually fragment the entire family. We've got a few more. Listen, we got time to do this, so don't. It's getting nice and cool, and we want to be patient, because what we are talking about and what we experience every day is worth this opportunity to express ourselves. So we have a few more things to say.
So, you know, what she's saying is correct, but it doesn't make any sense that we only make up, African Americans only make up 13.7% of the population, but we're making up over 80% of the prison population. That ain't right. That ain't right. And then when they come home, they're expected to be able to get a job, but with this new CQE, they have to wait a year before they can even qualify for it. That ain't right. As well as when they filling out the job application, they have to put on there whether they have a misdemeanor or a felony. That ain't right. If we continue to incarcerate without rehabilitation, we're going to continue the recidivism. That means that it's going to continue this cycle, as well as the fact that they plan to funnel our children from school to prison. It's a school-to-prison pipeline.
Tell them how they privatize.
They're taking the third grade test scores of these babies to find out how many prison cells they're going to construct. And that ain't right.
That way they got to stay in there now.
Well, they're taking $35,000 to $45,000 a year to house an inmate, but they're only spending $4,500 a year to educate our children. That's not right. But the only way that we can change this is if we get out and vote. Everybody always tells me that, well, my voice isn't being heard. But are you having these conversations in your communities? Are you having these conversations at your parties? It's time for us to take a stand. It's time for us to change it. Because the only way that we are going to change these policies and issues is if we collectively come together.
Hey y'all, isn't it strange? Isn't it funny? At 9 o'clock or whatever time it is, they are blowing glass. What? Who does that? I mean, it's 9 o'clock and I noticed I've watched one guy just come down twice and blow the same area so we can't hear each other. So before we go, let's just make sure that we are heard. More justice, more peace. More justice, more peace. More justice, more peace. Loud. We gotta do it loud in time. Listen, that is so strange. Let's say it one more time. More justice, more peace. More justice, more peace. More justice, more peace. More justice, more peace. More justice, more peace.
Now we are going to this burden with traps, an absolute traps. But it's a call to action for all of us. No matter where we are, whether we're in Fairlawn or Cuyahoga Falls, down in the project. We must organize. We must organize. We were informed tonight that the state of Ohio, that Republicans in the state of Ohio at this courthouse have introduced stand your ground legislation for Ohio. Now can you imagine the danger that folks will be in if they bring stand your ground Ohio? We don't want that, do we? No. So what we need to do, we need to organize. Go to your churches, go to your neighborhood groups, your street clubs. Organize, pass the word. Let them know that we do not want to stand your ground in Ohio. That's right. And rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Okay, we're gonna break up again, but I have to say this, that right now they are blowing mulch and getting paid overtime on our money while we're out, and I just find that so intriguing that at 9 o'clock at night they start to do lawn work. And it just so happens that the timing was perfect, because here we are trying to express ourselves, and we got to talk over the lawn work at 9 o'clock and get paid and overtime for it. But we will be back. Saturday, if you watch Facebook and so forth, the National March is Saturday. I'm walking back to the church, but I'll be walking back with my megaphone. And we will be back. We will be back.
If I run into something,
yeah, I'll watch it. I think it was a tremendous injustice. It was just unfair, and I think that's why you have so much national outcry, because the injustices they're just clearly seen, and I think that our nation is responding to it. It's not safe for a young black male to walk in his own neighborhood. That's a sad day. And then to get off scot-free, it's obviously he killed him. Everybody knows it. We can see it.
More justice!
Just unfair, and that's why
More
we're standing.
justice! More peace!
I just left it. It was a Trayvon Martin protest / rally, I guess. They had a lot of good topics to talk about, like the prison industrial complex, etc. You know, which I thought was you know, some stuff that needs to be spoken on. Very good, peaceful protest. Then there was like a mulch crew that I guess just came in out of the blue, which was sort of weird, but oh well. There's going to be another protest on Saturday at noon. So if you have time, I guess come down and check it out. And thanks for watching.